Chief Justice Carson, fellow legislators, special guests, I am honored to stand before you today as a Speaker of the 68th Legislative Assembly. I thank all of my colleagues, all of you, for the confidence you have placed in me. As we open the legislative session today, one of the biggest challenges we face is the loss of credibility that people have in their state government. It is my hope that together we can win back the confidence of Oregonians. When I was in the hog business, I had a lot of government people come by and check things out, and they were really arrogant, and they were kind of threatening to write penalties and fines, and it just offended me that government would act that way with people when you're just trying to do a business and survive. And I thought, gosh, if I ever get my kids raised and get a chance, I'll go in the legislature and see if I can change things. And so I set 4 goals: that I wanted to go to college, that I wanted to go to law school, that I wanted to fly an airplane, and that I wanted to serve in the legislature. It took me 10 years, but I got all those done. And I was working for the circuit court in Deschutes County with my law school background, and there was going to be an open seat, so I decided to file for it and was elected. It was kind of scary because one of my high school friends says, "Bev, you're a nice lady, but we don't elect women over here." So I thought, oh man, am I ever going to have to work hard? Which I did. I went to over 10,000 doors in my district, and I was able to win, and I was very, very happy about that. Well, I was Speaker my 4th term, I was Speaker of the House. And when I ran for Speaker of the House, you have to ask each member for their vote. So I asked this one guy from Salem, and he says, "Well, I don't know if I'll vote for you or not. I really think women should be home in the kitchen making cookies." And I said, "You know, I've raised 3,000 hogs, and I've castrated 200 in a day, and I think I'm tough enough to be Speaker." Well, that did get leaked around. As you can tell in politics, things get leaked around. So I've been introduced at speeches as castrating 300 bulls in one day. Now, that's a lot of bull. But I did get elected and then served that term, and then was out a few years and ran for the Senate. I was the Republican leader in the Senate, and Kate Brown was the Democrat leader. And we developed a memorandum of understanding how we would operate the Senate. It took us all in November and December. Then, in the 2003 session in the Senate, I was asked by Congressman Walden if I would like to serve in the position of Health and Human Services in the federal government, which I did. Was appointed by President George Bush for that position, and I found that extremely interesting to be in that position. And it's really an eye-opener to see how much our federal government does and how much is done by our human services agencies. We can see in politics today that to have everything be so partisan is just so divisive. Just because you disagree with somebody how they vote doesn't mean you can't talk to them about your issues, and if you're going to get anything done, you've got to have somebody with you. Doesn't mean you ever have to agree with what their principles are, and you don't give your own up, but you've got to work together, and I don't see a lot of that. For instance, I had 4 of my members pull a mutiny on a bill and voted it down. The Democrats were all voting against it, and 4 Republicans voted against it. Went down. So I removed 2 of them from committee, and I put a Democrat on, because that Democrat in the committee was the only one that had the knowledge to know how to run the committee and do what needed to be done. And that Democrat is now President of the Senate, Peter Courtney. And you don't say, oh, well, you can't put a Democrat there because they're a Democrat. You put the best person there that can do the job regardless. In my book, I speak to the job of campaigning, leadership, government waste, morals and values, where we're going, what I think's wrong. I just feel like that hopefully my book will give people some idea of maybe what we need to look for in people that we're going to elect and people that we want to support, because it's so important to elect people that I think are going to try to do the right thing in government and watch our taxpayer dollars. And there's good people in the legislature, and then there's people who are driven there because of their big egos. And that's the people that we need to weed out, in my opinion. I call on you, the new representatives and the seasoned old hands, to join together for a productive session that really does the people's work. Let us go forward and represent the people of our great state with the dignity and integrity they deserve. Thank you.